How did polynomial equations begin? Have you ever wondered where polynomial equations come from? The story of polynomials begins in ancient times when people faced practical problems involving unknown quantities. The earliest known work on this topic dates back to around 2000 years before the Common Era with the Babylonians. They solved simple equations that resemble quadratic forms using geometric methods rather than the symbolic algebra we use today. These early equations were often written in words, describing real-life situations like distributing crops or goods. The ancient Egyptians and Babylonians were quite skilled at solving linear equations, which involve one unknown, as well as quadratic equations that include squares of unknowns. Their methods were more practical and geometric, focusing on tangible solutions instead of abstract symbols. Fast forward to around 300 years before the Common Era, and we see Greek mathematicians, including Euclid, contributing geometric techniques that relate to solving quadratic equations. However, they did not use the algebraic notation that we are familiar with now. The development of symbolic algebra, which allowed for a more concise representation of polynomial equations, came later. The word algebra itself is derived from the Arabic term aljabar, meaning restoration or completion. This term was introduced by the 9th century Arab mathematician Al-Khwarizmi, whose work laid the groundwork for systematic methods to solve equations, including polynomials. One of the key figures in the history of polynomials is Diophantus of Alexandria, who lived in the 3rd century of the Common Era. He is often referred to as the father of polynomials. Diophantus studied algebraic equations in a systematic way and introduced some symbolic notation, which greatly influenced later mathematicians in both the Islamic world and Renaissance Europe. The notation and formalism for polynomials, as we know them today, developed gradually from the 15th to the 17th centuries. Mathematicians like René Descartes played a significant role in popularizing the use of letters for variables and exponents to denote powers. This made polynomial equations easier to write and solve. During the 16th century, mathematicians such as Cardano and Ferrari made strides in discovering solutions to cubic and quartic polynomial equations. This expanded the understanding of polynomial roots. However, attempts to solve quintic equations, which are of degree 5, were ultimately proven impossible to solve by radicals alone in the 19th century by mathematicians Abel and Ruffini. This led to the development of Galois theory, which provides a framework for understanding the solvability of polynomial equations. In summary, polynomial equations began as practical problems in ancient civilizations, evolving through geometric and verbal methods. They gradually became formalized with symbolic notation and systematic solution techniques. Today, polynomials are fundamental in algebra, serving as building blocks for many mathematical operations, including factoring, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and exponentiation. These skills are essential for anyone starting their journey in algebra.